my loves. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about a very difficult subject for me, and it's why is it so difficult to change? And it's been a struggle. So before we start delving deep into this very struggling subject for me, which I'm very uncomfortable doing, um, if you like the channel, if you have any questions, if you want to participate and interact with me, you know what to do. There are no rules, but you know how to play this game. The YouTube loves when people interact, so let's do it. Let's interact with each other. Welcome, my name is Livia, and I've been wanting to have a consistent YouTube channel since 2020. I'm so frustrated. It is very stressful to have desires and things and ideas and possibilities and potentials inside of me and not be able to actually fulfill them. And I've been struggling with these dreams, these ideas, these concepts in my mind on how my life should be for the last ever lifetimes. I don't know, but this lifetime, at least since 2017, when I really had an awakening of what I should do with my life to create more, to be in my purpose. I remember I was walking down the street in Los Angeles, and I think I had just had my nails done, and I was looking at my nails and they looked beautiful, and I was just like, great, this is great. My nails are great. I live a great life. But there was like an awakening that I had this idea of like this thought that it's like, but what the fuck? Is this it? I have a BMW, I have a beautiful apartment in West Hollywood, I have my cat, I have my shoes, I have Chanel, whatever I have. But it's like there's something missing. What is it? And I didn't have the one thing that was missing that I didn't have was like all of myself. And I remember that night coming back home, totally like angry at the world, at God, and being like, God, what is going on? You know, like, what is this? Like, why is this, like, this hole inside of me still missing? And it was so interesting how right that moment I was very angry. I remember I was like screaming at God, and I said to God, like, show me the truth. I don't know. I was like really angry at God. And when I get really angry, and because I'm a manifestor in human design, my signature, how do I say it? My signature good moment, or like when I'm in the positive moments of my life, I'm at peace. That's my signature move, you know? And the opposite of that is when I'm angry, like when I finally feel the anger, which I'm actually proud of feeling anger, because for many, many years, I totally suppressed all of my anger, and I would just be sad and mopey. And I think from 2016, 17 onwards, I was like really starting to feel my anger instead of just getting anxiety attacks, which I would very frequently. I just need to take a deep breath because I'm a little nervous right now. Sharing about all these things because it's like, it's going very deep within. Anyhow, I yelled at God, and I remember back in 2017 waking up the next morning after like releasing all my anger, and I was like, fuck you, God, fuck yeah, really like 3-4 hours screaming and really and like hitting pillows and whatever. And that was like a big beginning of a big catalysm for me, which I really started realizing certain things very deeply. What happened was the next morning I woke up and there was this sense of peace in the air. I was just detached. It was so peaceful that I was just like, what is going on? Why this peace? I felt like my mind had taken a vacation, and suddenly I just had peace, just peace. And okay, I was a little doubtful for that day. I was just like, peace. The next day I had to go to work. I woke up and I still had peace. Nothing was bothering me. Nothing. I was just like, ah. And then the next day also, ah. And then on the fourth day I realized, wait, is this like real? Am I really feeling this? At the time I was those days, I remember not being so hungry. I was eating once a day, and it was just a little bit. I remember I was on a work trip, and I was in New York at the hotel. I didn't want to leave my room. I just wanted to be with my energy at peace. I was drinking lots of water. I wanted to work out. It's like there was a programming that was just like me taking care of me, being at my best self, being happy, being peaceful. And that lasted 10 days. And on those 10 magical days, I couldn't really interact a lot with people because I felt like I had this energy of love that I just wanted to hug everybody and love everybody. And in New York, imagine that if I'm walking down the street in New York with this energy. And this 10 days, I had so many realizations. I knew I had to be a writer. I knew it. I knew I had to do things online and videos and teaching people about the spiritual journey, about these things that I understand, these gifts that I have from God, you know, this peace. I knew so much. I had like so many revelations on those 10 days. And it was so clear to me how to move forward. And I knew what to do. I knew I had to do it. I knew I had the energy to do it. I had the motivation. I was like in like a peak orgasm moment in my life. And then after 10 days, the energy kind of went away. So I had this reference, this 10 days of beautiful reference, but then I didn't really do much with it. I squandered it, you know. And I don't want to be hitting myself with my self-criticism whip, but I knew so many things back then. I knew I had to change so many things. I had the action steps, but it was so hard to change. Oh dear Lord, it's so hard to change. You know, when you're, yeah, so before I go there, I did certain things, you know. I did start a YouTube channel, but I didn't have the consistency, so I gave up. I started a business, I didn't have the consistency, I gave up. I gave up on myself so many times, and I still do it. Like the only consistency I have is giving up on myself. And the only other consistency I have is being inconsistent. And that is obviously a lack of self-worth, lack of self-love, and lack of safety, like an internal knowing of, okay, I need to do this for me, and I'm just gonna do it. And I don't have any of that. Of course, I have to forgive myself because it has been a healing journey. I only now have been realizing all of the shit that happened in my childhood, all the neglect, all the instability, all the emotional wounds that I still carried, that I still had to release and to actually be able to move forward. Because honestly, you cannot move forward if you have emotional baggage. It's like you do a step, but it's like so freaking hard. And that's why change is difficult. So I would say that like the first thing is to heal, but healing isn't like a lifetime journey. So you have to like shed as much as possible, and then power yourself through the last few moments, and then know that you're gonna have to maintain it. And I'm gonna have to bring an analogy here, which is it's like losing weight. I am lucky that I've always been skinny in a way, and like my weight has always been balanced in the same weight, so I'm very lucky. But I know that if I ever had like extra pounds and I wanted to shed them, it's easy to shed the first pound or two, but then the last two that I had, or you know, the last few pounds, it's always the hardest to shed. And I feel like that's equating life, a spiritual journey too, because I feel like I shed a lot in the 10 years of my spiritual journey. Like I shed a lot, but the stubborn little fat pockets of toxic trauma that really stay in my body, they're like stuck within me, like in the depth of my soul. I don't know, past lives and this lifetime, like memory of childhood, like huge things that I only uncovered a few weeks ago. These were really hard to find, to be aware of, and to heal. And I'm in that journey now. I'm in the last few steps. I'm like close to the finish line, and I can feel it. And it's very, very hard to make the change. But I've been willing, and I've been very happy to follow the guidance that I receive. I've been praying a lot, and that's another thing that really helps, is connecting with a higher power, because you cannot do this alone. You cannot do this alone. I could not do this alone. I mean, I'm very proud of myself for keeping going, and every time I fell, I got up again. but it's not an alone job. There's like God, the angels, all my past and future versions, friendships, of course, people that help along the way, but like mostly the 80% of the struggle is an internal struggle. So people can help the 20% and give a little push, but you have to really do the work. And I know that it's hard to change. I know it. And if you're struggling with change, I want to give you some tips as well, because it is possible to change, I believe, and I hope. Actually, I'm telling you this at the same time that I'm applying this to myself. So I know we're gonna do this. Let's do this, okay? So I think the first thing you have to understand for you to make a change is that you need a change. So the first thing is like to be aware of the things that are not working in your life and how you really want it to be. Because I could have been very distracted with my new nails, with my BMW, with all these things, and continue that life. And sometimes these lives, these versions of life that we are at, they're great. They're great. They're amazing. Life can be amazing. But if it's not aligned to the possibilities that you have, the purposes that you have, the potential that you actually have, and you don't like really make moves and make strides to become all of that you can see yourself, and you just be content. I think there are people that can do that and they're happy. I'm not that person. And if you're looking at this video, you're probably not that person too. So be grateful about your life right now, which is like be in the moment, be grateful, but understand that there are things that are not the same way that you visualize them, that you intend them to be. And realize that, okay, be aware that you need to make a change. Let's not pull up the whip, and be like, I need to make a change and make this into like a drama situation, but just be chill about it. Not like me that was like, yelling at God, but you can too, not judging. But if you're learning with my mistakes, because you're watching this video, it is possible to do this in a chill way with the nervous system relaxed, which is much better than revolution. But I'm a revolutionary, so here we are. The second thing I would say is, once you're aware that you need to make a change, be aware of what is the driver of that change. Like, be aware why you need to make that change, not just like, oh, I want a better house. Why you want that better house? Oh, I want a better job. Why? So be aware of your why. Be aware of what is and what you want it to be, and be aware of your why. So that's the second point, the why. The why is very important, because if you don't understand, you are going to be walking blindfolded towards a change. And if you have a why, you have a very clear understanding and vision, and that helps, because the why is what's going to start going into the layers of your subconscious, and then eventually it's going to click. So if you just already understand a why, even if it doesn't make sense the full body way, that when you have the realization that you really transform and transcend, and normally people get this like at the end of the journey, like of their suffering, you don't need to go to the end. If you understand your why and you just remind yourself of what and why, it will start seeping into your soul and your essence, and it's gonna be doing a lot of transformation inside of you, slowly but surely. Okay, so then what would be the third? I'm actually just coming up with this on the fly. The third thing, after you know your what, your why, is, no, it's not the how, because the how is really something you are gonna have to let go of. But you can have from the what, the why, you can have a vision, a plan, like the what next, the what now, the what if, the why, and the what next. What next? Have a vision and start making some ideas, some goals. Nothing very strict. We're not trying to force ourselves into any change, because every change that is forced doesn't stick. It's like New Year's resolutions. You're gonna start a New Year's resolution, you can do it for a week, for a month, and then you give up. And at least I've done that. I've forced myself to change. Every time I force myself to change, it doesn't work. I just go back to not change. I go back to the old patterns, because they're really hardwired, and there's a lot of why, there's a lot of support to the old patterns, and to make a new pattern, there's not really a lot of support or evidence. And if you force yourself, you're really like putting yourself in an unsafe situation. It's like, go to war, and then you put yourself in a battle and you don't know why you're in the battle. You don't know, you don't have tools to be in the battle. You don't have like a vision, a peace of mind to be in the battle. You're just like there alone in the middle of war. Don't go to war with yourself. So let's say the fourth point would be tools. Like, let's get some tools on how to handle all of this. Once you have your plan, you have your vision, you know your why, what are the tools that we're gonna get? You already made all these intentions and all these things. Now you need to know how to do all this, and you need tools. And tools, I would say, for a self transformation, it's always, always, always know thyself. Know thyself. Really, it's time to dig deep with whatever tools you want to use. There's EFT tapping, you can do this to reprogram yourself. There is hypnosis, there is journaling, there is, I don't know, quantum healing, there is like Silva method. I've done it all, and there are many, many tools, and it's a little bit overwhelming once you're in a seeking journey of figuring out how you can change, what you're gonna do, what is the vision, how you get there. At least it was for me. The seeking starts consuming. It was consuming me, and it may start consuming you. So this is why at the end of the day, knowing yourself is the key. So every time you see something that will help you go deeper within yourself and knowing yourself, yes, follow that, but don't follow just other people saying this is the way, because only you will know your way eventually. So everything I can say right now in this video and say to you, this is how I did it, this was my way, it doesn't mean it applies to you, but you can take what it does. You can see what worked for another human being. We're all in the same journey as humans, and eventually you can actually see what works for you. And if you resonate with what I'm saying to you, maybe we're in the same vibration, we're in the same wavelength, and the things that I did, the tools that I use, will work for you. And I have a lot more tools that I can share. And please subscribe to my newsletter. I share a lot of tools there. I have an online course called Happy that it already helps you dig deeper, a little bit deeper, on what is it that it makes you happy. And these are tools. These are just tools. This is not the secret to the universe. This is not how you're gonna heal. You're gonna heal by you understanding yourself and following yourself and being willing to change yourself, which is so hard. That's why everybody's always trying to change other people. It's so easy to see the problem on other people and change other people. But that doesn't work, because change only comes from within. A person can only change themselves. And as you change yourself, everything else in the world changes as a result, a mirror result of your transformation. Okay, so we were aware of our what's, what if, our potential, our reality. We're grateful. We have a vision, We are already knowing our why. Why do we want to change? Why do we want things to be different? We have some intentions, some goals. We gathered some tools, and now it's time to action. Now it's time to action. It's time to action for me, because I've done that journey that I've just described. I've done it, and I actually did it amazingly well. And like I said, it was very easy to shed all this weight, but now the last few steps, the last little weight, really requires massive action, because I've been that spiritual person that thought that I could just manifest just by being, by thinking, by visualizing, just by doing all these steps that we've done now. But it doesn't work like that, because it hasn't worked. Change really comes from actively doing something different than you were doing before. Once you're aware of your patterns, why, and what you want it to be, you need to bring it to this material world. It doesn't help just being spiritual. Let me do some ayahuasca and see what changes. No, you need to integrate it here in your physical world, physical body. Otherwise, it doesn't work in this reality, because you are the hands and the material thing that is going to let spirit express itself through you, and all the changes that you want to create really just comes from action. And this is such a hard pill to swallow, and I'm still struggling with it. Because I know what to do. I've done all of these studies about myself. I know who I am. I know all these things, but I don't take action. And this is why I'm challenging myself to really shed the last few pounds with change by taking action. And here I am talking to you on Instagram, on YouTube, everywhere, letting you know that from the 12th, today is the 9th, I'm going to post this video today. Yes, on the 12th is going to be the full moon in Leo, and to me it signifies that it's my north node. You know, my north node is supposed to be in astrology the direction where I'm supposed to go. So my full moon is Leo, my north node on the 12th. I have a plan. I've done all these things, and I will start taking daily action. So I'm going to do a 30-day commitment here, public. And you know what? I'm so afraid that I will fail, because I've given up so many times and I failed so many times. But I will do my best. I will announce it on my newsletter as soon as I post this video, and it's going to be all done by me somehow. And yes, I'm proud of myself for trying again, falling down, giving up in so many things, and trying again. And let's do this again. So once you realize that you need change, but you can be grateful for your life, and what is it that you want to change and why, and then you realize what you can do to change, and then you gather the information, the tools to actually make that change informed. And when you take action, daily action, like either you challenge yourself to do a 30-day thing, and I'm not saying like take daily action like a New Year's revolution. I'm saying take the daily action of creating a new self. You know, it's like it's not giving up smoking, it's adding something that it's more you, it's adding more you to the table. So 30 days of action, of small actions, of being grateful, of adding yourself, of being aware, just 30 days of high awareness of what you're doing and what you want to do next, just as an experiment, and see how far these 30 days will lead you. And that's what I'm doing to myself. Yes, 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 yes. And then after these 30 days, and I think that's when you have to let go. Letting go is really one of the most important things of life, because there is a higher power, and sometimes our change doesn't come at the timing that we want. Even though we did everything, we took the action, we did all the plans, there is an internal shift and transformation that needs to be done by spirit, you know. And so after this 30 days, celebrating what we achieved or not achieved, so let's put celebration in there, because celebration is really great. We let go. We let go. Once we let go, you know, it's like give yourself a break. You don't need to, whatever action sticks, whatever transformation you created that it became ingrained part of yourself, yes, keep doing it. But it's not like a period of hyper awareness anymore. It's going to be a period of relaxation, of letting go, shedding, of like, wow, okay, let's see what's the result of this, and just observing and seeing where you changed and where you didn't change. So if it's like after 30 days of you committing to, or at least me, that's where it's going to happen, committing to posting and sharing every day, and I don't want to share or post anymore, then I'm going to have to realize, okay, either A, the transformation didn't happen, or B, this is not meant to happen now. It's not meant to be now. It's meant to be another time, or not meant to be. Why am I forcing myself to create a situation in my life that is not aligned with me? Because when we pray and when we take all of these steps and all these like knowledge about ourselves, really what we really want is to take away everything that is not ours. And so if we pray and we are joining this challenge of changing, we pray to change. It's not normally to become somebody else, is to really shed what is no longer ours, what was stuck to us by conditioning, by society, by education, by trauma, by mind drama, whatever it is. And so letting go is very important. Letting go is one of the most beautiful things we can do. And so We're gonna start this challenge on the 12th. If you want to join me, just by watching me actually would be very helpful to have this accountability. And I am so afraid I'm gonna be ashamed of myself if I don't do this, but I can't. I have to do it. And on the 12th, I'm gonna share. We're gonna start by sharing my what needed to change, and maybe my whys as well. And we're gonna go from there. Yes, so if you want to do this with me, join my newsletters. I'm going to put all the links somehow there on the Instagram as well, and we can do it together. Or we can, I'll think about something else eventually. It's a lot for me to do this by myself. So if you want to join me and encourage me, great. If you need something from me, join my newsletters, because I will share whatever I can there. I will share on Instagram as well. I will share on this channel whatever I can. And yeah, watch me either succeed or crash down to the ground and fail one more time, and then I don't know. Yeah, hopefully it will work out. Thank you for being here. Please be aware of your life, what you want, what you have, why you want it. What was it? The tools, intention, goals, then tools. Oh my God. Recapping. Okay, let's go back. What is the situation right now? Be aware of what the situation is. What do you want it to be? Be aware of what you want it to be. Why you want it to be that way. Then you have the intention. What are you going to do to change it? What are the tools you're going to need to make that happen? Then you're going to have the action. You're going to put the intention and the action plan into action. Then you're going to celebrate the action that you took for whatever time period you gave a challenge to yourself, the plan. And then you're going to let go. And then after letting go, we can circle back, reevaluate what worked, what didn't work. And then we can actually, start again and remove more layers and take more action and do more changes. So let's commit for 30 days. I'm going to commit with me and all my fragmented personalities to change, and I will let you know exactly what I am committed to change on the 12th, and I'll see you there. Mwah. Thank you for being here, my love. Yes. Bye.